Hey, how's it going? I'm gonna let you see some signs before I start talking. Sorry for that quick movement. Hey, how's it going? Shoot. I pulled two cards, and the first one I pulled, or the first two I pulled, are from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. And the first one I pulled was number 44. 8 breaks down to 8, which just off the top of my head from tarot is a power number. Yeah, it's the card in tarot where the woman is holding the lion's mouth open with her bare hands, signifying that she's got a level of power over this wild and powerful beast. That is just off the top of my head. I'll maybe give you more depth to that in the information box. But it's perfect storm, the courage to step into life. This is like this card's got a lot of intense stuff going on here, and wow, is that something I dropped on there? Okay, I thought there was an extra detail. Turns out it's a piece of garlic paper. But it says the courage to step into life. So sorry I'm tripping out on it, but you might too if you can get a good look at all that's going on there. I mean, this raven or crow or whatever you call it, I don't know, I'm calling this guy a raven, is like bright-eyed and sitting in the middle of I don't know, like it escaped the Starship Enterprise in one of those episodes, because I don't know, it's some kind of space. It's pretty. I like the colors. Okay, get it together. So, but it's not concerned. It's very alert, and also not concerned about this going on right here. I'm just gonna throw a guess out there for myself and say that's a vortex, which is crazy, but you know, that's how quantum stuff works. I don't know, it looks like this might be sort of coming out of there like some kind of steam, but it also, I was gonna say it could be part of the background, but it's so much brighter that I think maybe it has more to do with this, at least the immediate area around the crow. Why is this sticky? Oh man. Okay. It's probably agave. So I need to take a moment and look at this. What in the heck? Oh, wow. Okay, that's strange. I'm sorry, hold on. Okay. So the first thing I focused on was that it looked like it was standing on driftwood, and I don't know, I just have, I think driftwood is kind of like for fancy furniture or whatever, unless it's at the beach. Those are the two associations I have with it, although there's nothing out of the ordinary that a bird would be standing on a piece of driftwood. So it really doesn't mean anything, but it just kind of drew in my eye, and then I saw this over here. Oh god, it's all sticky. I'm unhappy about that, because how do you clean a card like this? I think maybe I'll try powder or something. Anyway, it drew my eye. The driftwood drew my eye to this area, and at first, let me make sure I have the right spot. At first, I saw this, and my eyes could not focus on it properly, or like I just couldn't make sense of it. And I thought, is the vortex sizzling out of the other side of this guy? Like, what is happening? But then I mean, that could well be the case, because this card is freaky. But also when I looked, the stickiness just drives me insane. I'll use the metal end. So this is, if you can you see any better up close? Because I can't even say it. Okay, it looks like it's focused there. Can you see how those feathers here looks, whoa, here it looks kind of plucked or something, and that's what, like, I don't know, like messed up my vision. So I couldn't focus on it right. But this is all peacock looking, don't you think? And it is peacocking a little bit, this bird. Look how beautiful it is. Look how it has like glints that match the sky. I would like to say what it looks like, but it's probably not a good idea. It's just some pastimes I used to do in the past where things got a after image of this color a whole bunch. And also during those times, like this right here, I mean, it makes sense now in a certain way, but in the moment back then, this would have been like making all kinds of noise, and I don't know if I would have been able to tear my eye. Ow! Good God, that burner's on. I gotta turn that off. On the floor, y'all. It turned into James Brown for a second there. Oh, sorry. Ouchies. Anyway. Yeah, this would have made all kinds of sense to me. But I would not have been able to tear my eyes away from it. It just has like a lot going on. I'm sure other times I look at this, it's going to be like enhanced, because that seems to keep happening. Also, there's a full-on lightning bolt coming out of its chest, which I don't know why, but it's like it feels like I need to mention it. I like it. I think it's cool. I think lightning is cool. Looks cool. You can't keep its distance. Thank you. But it's beautiful. So okay. I'll read from the guidebook before I get out of my fantasy world with the card. Let me just get situated here. So, number 44, Perfect Storm. An invitation to act now. Not the coverage, the courage to step into life, sheltering from turbulence. I know this card is about a storm, but yesterday I was talking about turbulence in my life, and all I can say is what a difference a day makes. But that is what turbulence is all about. Like on the ocean, if you're in some kind of boat, it can flip you like a coin, you know. Turbulence is not to be sneezed at. But it calms eventually. It goes away, which is good. Where was I? The winds are picking up, and you need to make sure that you are close to the eye of the storm, or you will be buffeted by gusts that will take you far from where you need to be. Hold on. Okay, let me see if I can find my place again. The key is to remain centered and balanced and bear witness to as the forces build in intensity. Notice how loose stuff is starting to fly around and recognize how little of it you truly need. Let go of those thoughts, beliefs, and attitudes that clutter your heart and cloud your mind. Then the storm will be absolutely perfect for you. I need to take a drink. Sorry, I swear I'm not stalling. If you wonder what you might lose during the perfect storm, know that it is those things that we are most attached to that are taken first, as if life were trying to unburden us of our righteous self-importance. I'm just laughing because, wow. Let it all go with the wind. The less you resist the change brought by the perfect storm, the happier you'll be. Ride the winds to your next destination. Embrace the rain or snow. Remember that every time you try to argue with nature, you lose. That's true. The perfect storm can also be a call for you to seize the moment. There might be a great opportunity that you need to take advantage of right now. Carpe diem. Seize the day. Here, time is of the essence. It may be gone shortly, so do not hesitate. Go ahead, bite off more than you can chew, and take the storm on in all of its terrifying greatness, experiencing the fullness of life. You will succeed. Really, I mean, you will succeed either way, because even if the storm that you're going to take on in all its terrifying greatness as an experience, as a full experience of your life, if you get snatched up out of a hurricane because you're not close to the eye of the storm where it's relatively calm, yeah, I mean, people, pets, furniture, all kinds of stuff ends up in, who knows, like, it just seems crazy when they find them in. Finding people in good working condition is always good. Sorry, got a little dizzy feeling there. So the perfect storm, yesterday I was thinking about, I think I might have written about this, so it wouldn't be on my YouTube unless I mentioned it and put the link in the box underneath, but I don't think I linked it. I think I just wrote it and left it over there. But I was talking about the venting, like being, if I didn't explain that, I think I did it with my hands, but if you know what a vesica Pisces is, that's that spot in the ven where the ovals overlap and create its own area. And the vesica Pisces is pretty well known in other circles than the way that I'm currently using it. I'm just trying to, if anybody can get a picture in their mind of if you don't know what a Venn diagram is, the vesica Pisces is basically the same area that you're talking about. So it might help if you don't know one or the other. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to inform someone that might not know. Although you can also look up either one if you care to with a click of the finger. So I don't know what I'm going on about, but I often think about my country and how inflamed it is in spots, and I'm basically talking about the turbulence of of the population where I live that's, wow, everyone's got an opinion, as they always did, but now everyone wants to make sure you hear it and know about it, and thank you, social media, for that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but some people are not like nice about it, and the stuff they have to say isn't nice. And then there are plenty of people that are like, right before I started doing this, I watched a short, and if you watch YouTube, you can easily find this, but it's Bond Peter, like Bond, James Bond Peter. I don't know why it's like that way. His name might be Peter Bond. I'm not sure. But anyway, he does these short videos, and actually look it up, but it is so like uplifting, like it just makes me have faith in man again. So it just is a feel-good video, and I think that we need that to be the next pandemic. But what this guy's doing, and he's not the only one that does it either. There's people all over the place doing it, just like there's those auditor guys that go around filming stuff and then end up getting arrested, and they tell the police it's not against the law, what I'm doing is not against the law, it's not against the law, and then but the cops are like uninformed, and they're just all, I said no. And it's like, didn't you go to the academy and they told you that's not how you do it? And but I am saying, those auditor guys, when you see those videos, and these are not like young cops, sometimes they're old dudes. So there's one where he even talks about being of the old school, like he would have curbed this guy or killed him, the auditor, for like doing something that's not illegal, which was filming in a public area, filming in a public building, like a police department or a federal building. In the public areas you can film, like not in the employees only areas you can't film, but he doesn't go there. But the people in those places also are not up to date on what the law is, so then they try to call the cops down, and it always ends up having to be, well, not always, but most of the time they have to go get a supervisor to clear things up. And it's just that kind of like I mean, really, this guy is doing something innocuous, but the people he comes in contact with get all freaked out because they're like, you can't film me. And it's like, this guy actually checked the statutes first before he went out and started doing stuff. So he's had problems with a lot of places, but if a supervisor comes out, they usually know what the dang law is, and they have to tell everybody, leave him alone, he's not doing anything, let him do his business, stop, go away. And they have to do it, but then they're just like hanging around all sour, glaring at him, giving him the stink eye, like, you haven't finished. It's not his fault you don't know the thing that's your job. Hello. So he's been able to sue a lot of these places where it's not resolved so easily, and luckily for him, he has, well, maybe it's not luck, he's just doing the right thing, and I think maybe that might be shielding him, because they, again, like, it's their job. They can't really, like, get all upset when it's on film and it's already out in the world. Like, they can't, like, get mad and take him somewhere and beat him up and roll him up in a carpet like the older ones I was talking about might have done once upon a time. But the younger ones they don't, like, I'm being very general here. Of course, I haven't gotten even a snapshot of all of every place where there's a police force, so I understand that it seems like I'm making, I just want to, like, lay out the groundwork here about what's happening. I'm making a very general statement. But the point is there's all these little clashes that are going on all over the place, and there's bigger ones too, and sometimes it's just all online, and I mean, there are forces outside of our bodies, like very strong. Sorry, they're invisible, but you can't see like rays coming from the sun sometimes, and they come from other planets too. Like there's a lot of stuff that is bombarding this planet, but not in the sense of it's breaking stuff. What is bombarding and that is on the waves is love energy and the energy of like being calm and cooperative and like don't freak out over every little thing like and it's helpful because of what I was just saying. There's like the Karen example, and there's the MAGA example, and whatever the leftist thing people are doing that are bothering people. Like all of that's going on, but at the same time, we're all being bombarded by these waves, and the reason why is because it's like coming from spirit and lots of the angelic realm, and all working together to help us get through this shift without killing each other. We have to get back to compassion and love is what they're trying to do. So it would be worse if not for that, right? And so while that's going on, and here's the real reason they're like helping. Well, I mean, not like it eliminates the other reason or diminishes it, but here's another reason why. Because we are meant to learn how to figure this stuff out with each other and then get to work cleaning up the place where we live and showing some respect to our poor planet and its creatures, including us. Like, we gotta stop trashing each other. Has it made anything better? Like, how long do we have to keep doing the thing that just isn't working before we finally decide to maybe try it a different way? Hey, what a concept. So, no, I'm not bipolar, in case you're wondering. Just yesterday was kind of a crappy day, and today was not. And really, to be in this mood makes it so much easier to do this. I don't know why the stars in the sky here just caught my eye. Sort of looks like a crab nebula thing. Not an astronomer. It just has like a crab claw thing going. So anyway, the hell is the time? Ooh, not bad. Okay, let me hurry up. So I pulled also a card from this here deck, and it is the moth. Okay, can I just talk about bleed through again from previous readings? Because this one, yesterday I was talking about turbulence, and I think a couple of other things from yesterday popped up in the text of the book. Day before yesterday, I think, maybe, I was talking about being a kid, or maybe it was yesterday, I don't know, everything's just blending together, but there was a day recently that I was talking about being a kid and playing, and the game being catch the butterflies and the moths by the wings and totally destroy their lives, and then be all, that's pretty, and wipe it on your pant leg and walk off like doo-doo-doo, because you don't know better. Here is this beautiful moth, which is not any of the kind like I used to see. And I don't see them at all anymore, but maybe they were native to California, LA, where I saw them in California. Anyway, this moth looks very tropical, and it's a symbol, so it really has no worries if it's flying in the next room, because I'm not going to try and pluck it by its wings. I'll like put out something that moths like for it to land on and walk up and say hello. I'm not going to try and touch it, because now I know better. And I will respect its boundaries. Oopsie. And it's in the darkness heading for the light, by the way. I thought that was funny. So you know how they have moths have a camouflage, and they'll have some features, physical features that'll disguise them from their prey. And I was looking at the spots on its wings, and they sort of look like arrows, like the bottom left and right. Oh, maybe not. My vision is, I gotta go to the eye doctor. I don't know, they just look like, yeah, like directional signals, like arrows pointing. You know what? This one looks like, whoa. This one looks like when you want to like play the YouTube video again. Look at that. Doesn't it? And then, don't get bogged down in that silliness. They're there to trick the eye. It worked, didn't it? It's not even a real moth. Let me read from the book. Moth. Impulsive, hasty, wishful. The moth is sure the grass is greener on the other side. Moth energy is at play when we're attracted to easy solutions or anything shiny and new. This can lead to unfinished projects, disappointment, or burnout. It's helpful to remind moth personalities that life is complex. No matter the illusion, no one is exempt. Wasn't I talking about those little spots looking like other things and tricking the eye? No matter the illusion, no one is exempt from the trials and tribulations of this great journey. Practice seeing life as an infinite mystery rather than wishing it was easier or different. Well, you know, that's like that split brain thing for me, where, you know, you're just like, this like yesterday, this situation is the worst. I feel terrible. Everything's blah. And then today I'm like there's happy gas pumped into the room or something. There's not, but you know, when things go right, you just get in a better mood. Boy, I would sure like to talk like I don't have something rattling around in there, but oh my goodness, my throat is swollen. Well, maybe that's why I can't. Sorry, I don't mean to just leave dead air, but I want to get back to the page. The moth is always sure that the grass is greener on the other side. That is interesting in light of what I was talking about in regard to our society, my society. Because I feel like right now, after years of having to hear about the struggles of people with people of color or women, and it's always something that's a group that everyone's a part of. So if it's women, there's still going to be like the minority groups there. And I kind of see like this thing where there's this camp where they're like, so and so's not gonna erase us. And it's like, sweetie, no one's trying to erase you. It's just the way things happen. Like, time goes on and people are not so concerned about, you know, you don't look like me, so we couldn't possibly blend our lives or have children, for God's sake. For God forbid. So, I mean, there's this resentment that the other part of society that is not people of color or marginalized in some way, and they don't have to be rich, they can be across the board economically. So I mean, that always is going to affect mindset, but I think across that spectrum there are people that are sort of speaking out on this what I'm leading up to, which is that the people that feel the resentment of having to look at and care about all these struggles and different things that are happening to these people, I wonder if they don't kind of doubt that it's really happening, because I know that's a true thing. Where you just don't believe that it's something is to the extent that this person is saying. But it's hard for me to understand how you can wonder when the person is like shot up full of bullets, or there's a story and there's documentation, and we've been made to be so suspicious that we can't even trust what we're looking at anymore. Some of us, I don't know, because you gotta look and see how it makes you feel too. Like, does it feel phony? Because we can usually feel that pretty good. In a lot of situations, scenarios, whatever, we can usually smell it coming, you know. It gets harder to see when stuff is camouflaged, and we do that too. Like, the resentment and like just being overhearing about all these problems of other people, I'm sure comes around to a "what about me" feeling. And no one's excluding you or damaging you, but on the other hand, there's this thing now with banning all kinds of history, particularly American history that has to do with black people in the beginning of and their origins in this country. And that's that there's like a lot of politicians out there saying, you know, we don't want our kids to learn this because it makes them feel bad. And I gotta say, my whole life, and even in school, I never heard one kid say that. And believe me, they said plenty of things that were not like, well, they were across the board. They were good, they were bad, they were ugly. But I never heard anyone say that. And then I grew up and knew people and never heard anyone say along the way to the current present now that they felt bad reading about that. Like, what I heard, if I heard anything, was, "Oh my God, that's terrible! I can't believe we did that to them." Now, I don't know if that was like a seed that got stuck somewhere sensitive in their body and later, you know, turned into some kind of abscess. And I don't know if you know the process of one of those going bad, but look it up, because I'm not going to explain it any more than that. But let's just say it just elevates to a worse place. But my point is, I've never heard a person in my life say that learning that stuff crippled them, or it, like, I mean, that's what it makes. That's what these politicians are making it sound like, but or trying to make us believe, or I don't know what. But like I said, I've seen no evidence of it. And what I'm getting there is that you either do feel that way, and don't get mad at me about it. I mean, you weren't there, neither was I. Like, let's have some perspective on this. You know, my whole thing is, like, I'm not, like, out for reparations. I think it's messed up that we didn't get them, but I kind of feel like, screw black people. What about the Native American people, which I also have as part of my genetic background? Like, I mean, black people are doing pretty dang good in comparison still today. Like, man, my other people have a hard time still. And it's like, and even like, those things aside, what I would really like to see is everybody just get along and stop treating each other like crap. It's just simple, but I mean, it won't cost any money. But those are like all sort of venting vesica things that are just stewing in the middle and churning and creating all this, I don't know, like energy. And but like it's turbulent. It even looks like it's like fighting, like in the swirl, fighting with itself, which is what I feel like a lot of the people that are Vems themselves that lash out in ways that are just terrible against the people that I was talking about that are the people of color variety. And I mean, there's just, it just goes on and on and on. It's just an endless swirl. It's like, I think that if I'm gonna think of the endless swirl and all of this stuff in terms of the fabric of reality that which everybody and everything is a part of, good, bad, and ugly, then it's all gonna be okay, because it's all meant to happen. And for some reason it's always been going on, just the way reality works, but we just were not equipped to see it. We were not like enabled by the rays that I was talking about earlier. Think I sound nutty? That's all right. I really don't mind. I've been called worse. But the reason why I say we'll be okay is because people with a better connection to spirit and timelines than I just feel like it. I just sense it's going to be okay, because like it just has to. Because if I don't think it is, that's not helping the effort. But notice again the bird's expression, its countenance. It's not bothered. It's like, yeah, this is another Tuesday or whatever. Oh, I guess it's Friday today, but whatever. Just another day, no big deal. It might have to belch or something, I don't know. But I am gonna go. Yeah, I think there's a storm, and I think it's a storm with many storms within it. Oh, speaking of storms, the other thing that I started to say was, in the guidebook, when it's talking about being in the eye of the storm, that's something else that I was writing about, like just the other day, that's in that WordPress piece, that the person that's venting on the inside and perhaps fighting themselves, well, in this case that I was talking about, I feel like they definitely are having a fight with themselves inside, because on the outside, through the anger and harsh words, I just see somebody in pain. And that is, like I said, happening to everybody, that while all this love stuff is coming down, we're also being cracked open, and some of us are handling it better than others. So I guess I just wanted to get that point in there. But yeah, overall, I mean, I think things could have gone so much worse so many times. So I think it's good, and I'm going to stop now. Thank you, and good night.